So friends, welcome to a new XRP update video. Right now we're trading at 230. The correction since we were up here at 250 has kicked in perfectly. We're going to take a look now where it might possibly go for us, what the worst case scenario is, and how you might also benefit from it. So definitely stick around until the end. But before we start, feel free to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet, and of course feel free to rejoin the free Telegram talk and Signal group. If you're interested in updates, news, and signals, feel free to join. You can find the link for that for free down in the video description or in the comments section. And if you want to trade, stake, or do anything else with XRP, you can do that at my partner exchange, Bings. Right now, there are some great bonuses to grab, and by doing so, you're also supporting the channel. With that, yes, XRP at 230. So far we've seen a slight correction. Since our peak, it has dropped by almost 12%. In the meantime, the price has recovered a bit, but it's currently struggling a bit. With this 200 SMA, we're still down 8% right now. The golden pocket was just barely missed, but it's still a strong trade, as I would just claim now. Take profits from the top down to here, stop loss entry, and everything is good. Whoever took this trade, the goal was of course here. The golden pocket, or rather it still is. The possible Bitcoin recovery makes it a bit harder now that we might go down here again, at least in the short term. That means for us, we need to keep an eye on XRP now. It still holds up very, very well chart-wise compared to many, many other altcoins. So don't get me wrong, it's not XRP hating. The chart is holding up relatively well. But as soon as this mark falls here at around $218 down to $217, I honestly see it. Even if Bitcoin falls significantly below 85,000 or 86,000, if it falls below the US dollar, then we need to think about it. That we should see target zones like down here, the $1.65. Once again, that has nothing to do with what some wrote in the comments last week with mass panic, or I shouldn't be talking nonsense and chasing people out of their positions. That has to do with sensible chart analysis, because there are huge wicks over here. Liquidity, well, there's been an enormous increase happening over here that theoretically we could even go towards 1.46, but that would be a bit too much for me right now. These are just analyses that are absolutely within the realm of possibility. Had nothing to do with hate or anything like that. I'm just trying to prepare you here so you don't say, I should have just sold, or where can I buy back in? That's just what it's about. Otherwise, the chart looks relatively decent on a 4-hour basis. We could, or it would make more sense to go a little deeper. Simple RSI could trigger a bullish divergence again. That means getting a lower T4 into this golden pocket of the upward movement or downward movement, and then to say here, okay, we would have a bullish divergence down here, downward movement, and here to say, okay, we would then have a bullish divergence down here. So it would really be great if we could get it like that. XRP would also be significantly more bullish, that we would then make a new attempt at least towards 2.60 or even 2.70, where our monthly pivot R1 is located up here. Namely, we could hold, right now the pivot, which is this orange line here, is holding up very, very well. If it falls, it turns bearish, heading to S1, 165, and we usually head down towards S1, and that's actually at 165. So, not meant to be rude, just to clarify that from a daily perspective, it's actually the same game. Here, the golden pocket would make the most sense. We could test this former supply zone again, so this area here at $2.18. We get support with this bullish divergence. What still bothers me from a daily perspective is that the RSI is just completely high. That means we have an RSI of 52. The correction has of course set in, but we were also up here with an RSI of 94 by now. By now everything has corrected a bit, around 40 to 50%, but to be honest, it's still too little for me. By now everything has corrected a bit, around 40 to 50%. But to be honest, it's still too little for me. That means either we move this RSI through a long sideways phase, or we correct in the form of a big fat correction that then brings us down here. So that stays the same safe spot. For me, it would be the 190 simply because we have here at the bottom having 2, 3, or 4 big wicks that all provide liquidity. You have to imagine it. Under each wick is a stop loss. There's liquidity there, we can grab it. Only when that breaks, then we can or have to worry that we are heading towards 168 or 161 would fall. Feel free to share your opinion in the comments below, what you think about it or what you generally think about XRP. Write it down below. Otherwise, I would say I wish you a nice weekend. Take care of yourselves. Like, subscribe, and check out the Telegram group. And also, Binks, And otherwise, have a nice weekend. Take care of yourselves. Ciao, ciao. And as always, stay crypto.